The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Wine Vault Radio with Jason Bryant from winevaulttv.com.
Certainly is. He's the man who produces online wine videos. And sometimes he comes in on the wireless on a Friday and does it here as well. G'day,
On the
Jason.
wireless.
On the wireless.
Takes me back to my youth when Jesus was a boy.
Seems funny to call it the wireless when it goes through all sorts of mediums these days.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially on your video content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
So,
do you call that? I mean, that's not. Well, what is that medium? I was
New.
having a conversation about this yesterday. What do we call it?
New.
New. Yeah, but then people call it new media, and it's well, that's
Yeah,
not
well,
really
it
a
is.
name. It's like it's not television,
No.
is it? It's not radio. What is it?
Different.
Different.
It's the way that we're all going to consume media shortly, online. Not that there'll be the death of newspapers and books and the traditional media like people are forecasting, because they have an agenda to kind of follow,
Yes.
as well as I. Do you know, I'm
Well, I
quite
have an
happy.
agenda.
Do you?
Yeah.
What, to take over the world?
Yeah.
And hold it to ransom for $1 billion.
That's it. You got it. Oh, am I so transparent?
Well, that's what the web's all about, being transparent. We know what you like.
Tell us about your day yesterday.
What? My wine tasting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the fortune, and so will you if you tune into Wine Vault TV. Over this next, well, as of Monday, I guess, I'm going to do a video with one of the most prestigious houses in Burgundy, in France, and they're called Faverly. And so we tasted wine that went from pretty much $30 to $450.
Wow.
And
that's an expensive glass.
it is an expensive glass, and actually, ironically, one of the most expensive wines I really didn't like. I didn't care for it too much at all, and it was purely because of the year 2003, which killed 60,000 French people. And I know that there'll be a lot of people cheering, but not me. That was just so hot that it pretty much raisined the grapes, and to get this really intense, almost port-like character in most wines across Europe, apart from Italy.
What year was that?
2003.
Okay.
Yep. So it's a massive heat wave. Even England had summer, which
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
It is incredible. What was it like?
The wine.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really jammy, port-like, beef jerky, gamey venison. Think animals without pulse on a plate.
That's what I enjoyed yesterday, actually.
Yeah, I know. There's a nice little segue there.
While we're talking about yesterday's, I went to the Silax.
Be careful with what you say.
Silax. Silax.
Because people are going to think you've got a disease. Yeah.
Silax.
Celiac disease. Yeah.
The Silax are launching a National Roast Day on August the 1st, and they had a little bit of a launch, a little bit of a suave kind of do yesterday. And I ate 3 kinds of meat.
Where was it held?
And with wine matches. At Chibo in Parnell.
Oh, I like the pronunciation there. very nice. Almost Italian.
Yeah, it's my heritage. No, it's not. And it was really nice, and I do enjoy that the matching of food and wine. And from a chef's point of view, you know.
Yeah.
And what his idea on what's going with what, and I always really enjoy the description of why they've chosen this and that and the other thing, and it was good, and I was quite impressed with the wines as well. Very
I
nice.
like the difference between a chef matching food with the wine and a wine person matching wine with the food.
Yeah,
Because they're quite different, and for different reasons.
Well, often you don't find. I'm not sure if I've been to many events where the wine person matches with the food. It's normally the chef. Normally the chef goes, okay, well, here's the selection of wines I've got to choose from.
Yeah. As well as kind of, I would go in and say with someone, oh, that's what you're eating. You have this,
Yeah,
and so that they're quite different entities.
yeah.
It'd be quite good to do it blind.
Well, they got a sommelier. Sommelier?
Yeah, and they match everybody's wine with everybody's food. So I mean, but if you gave the chef a menu and got him to create the food and then match the wine with that, and then gave the wine person, whether they're winemaker or retailer or whatever, to then match the wine to a said menu, I should imagine you get very different wines for different reasons.
Yeah, true. How many places in New Zealand, how many restaurants do you think have sommeliers?
Qualified sommeliers, I'd say very few.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk the French Cafe do, and those top end. You'd have someone employed that knows a bit more about wine, rather than be a sommelier.
But to be qualified, what does that take?
Master sommelier. I think there's only one in New Zealand.
Wow.
And that's Cameron Douglas.
Okay.
Yeah, he does a bit of consulting, a bit of AUT work, and he's very, very passionate about wine.
Is it quite literally years of?
Yeah. It took him 6 or 10 years.
Right.
So I mean.
And do you have to do that in France?
No, I think his was held either in the States or the UK. I know he visited kind of the UK quite a bit. So I mean, it's quite an achievement. There's only a handful of people. It's just like Master of Wine. Those people who have to know everything about the wine industry and winemaking and marketing, etc.
Yeah.
There's only 270 in the world.
Okay.
Yeah. And New Zealand has a per capita, as we like to say. I'm claiming being Kiwi there. We like to say it, per capita has a high proportion, high percentage.
Okay. Is it something you aspire to being?
No, I
sometime?
did. I think everybody does. Kind of when they get into wine, they want to be the head of everything and lead. And then I realised that it's a shed load of work.
You're right.
And years and very costly. And for me, in wine retail and stuff, you don't really need it.
Whether you're a master or not, Jason, I trust you. That's why I have you in the studio every Friday to bring in another bottle.
The reason why I've got the wine of choice today is because of the Burgundy tasting I went to yesterday, and this is New Zealand's equivalent from one of the oldest regions, and Kairanga have been around in the New Zealand wine scene for over 20 years.
Where are they based?
Martinborough. And they own some of, I think it's John Martin's of, obviously the name Martinborough comes from Martinsborough, and Martinborough is like John Martin's land, and they own the original John Martin land.
Okay.
And Runholder is because they owned a run of land down Martin's Lane, and so that's the history behind this. And they used to have a very kind of prestigious position within New Zealand wine and Pinot Noir and Martinborough.
So you're thinking if you can't go the full Burgundy, this is the next best thing?
Well, I'm kind of hoping.
The New Zealand version, anyway.
Yeah. We're not up to that level at the moment.
It's a 06.
This is an 06.
Pinot Noir.
And it's the Runholder. And so, yeah. It's Pinot Noir.
What price point?
Right now, $22.
It's a good price.
Yeah.
Pinot Noir.
Yeah. They've got their estate, and then you've got Runholder, and then you've got a few other ones as well. You almost get this kind of sweet, burnt, caramelised cherry on the nose. That's what I'm getting, plus a hint of oak. Almost an anisey, licoricey kind of character as well.
Slightly,
violet.
I can tell where you got that burnt. It's almost toasty.
Yeah. That may come from the barrels, because I toast the inside of the barrels to give it various degrees.
Yesterday in the Kiwi office, we
You were toasting barrels, were you?
no, well, we could smell toast,
Right, okay.
and then someone else came along and said, "Oh, there's a ghost in here." Because apparently, if you smell burnt toast and there's no one's cooking toast, there's a ghost. There's a poltergeist.
Is that because it rhymes?
And I was like, who the heck wants to haunt Kiwi? Come on. Oh, it's a lot heavier than I'd normally expect from a Pinot.
There's a lot of rich, concentrated fruit there. You get blackberry, you get raspberry, you get a bit of cherry.
Oh, wow, it's full on. It's explosion.
You get some really good acid as well. And I'm just getting a little hint of oak at the end. So, I mean, it's pretty good. This is going to go with your pulseless animal.
Your pulseless animal?
Yeah. Your bit of steak.
Yeah.
Whatever else you have.
I'm just really surprised. It's just very big for Pinot.
It is very big.
That. Yeah.
It's not overly complex. I don't get the kind of mineral character, the real dryness, the real tannin, but I get the acid, I get the fruit, I get a bit of the oak. For $22.
Point score? That's the bell to say point score.
88 points.
88 points.
Yes, it's pretty high. It's pretty good.
For
Like
the
value for money.
Tikianga.
2006 Runholder Pinot Noir.
Nice.
Go buy.
For more, go along to winevaulttv.com and continue the conversation with Jason on Twitter. Twitter.com/the
The Wine Vault.
Wine Vault.